Hi guys, welcome back. We're gonna do another bed. This one's gonna be a flower bed. I think I have maybe 10 flower beds so far. Some are small, some are big. Some we just started this year. And then we have many more to go. Today's plan was simple. Clean up this flower bed. And as usual, plans are subject to change because now I'm out here trying to figure out what's a flower, what's a weed, what reseeded itself, and what is just pretending to be here. Okay, so for our first flower, this is the butterfly weed, and it has already bloomed. But I planted these last year from seed, and so still learning a little bit about them. But it left these cool cone-shaped fuzzy pods, cone-shaped pods, and I think I'm supposed to cut back a lot of this, like remove a lot of these seed buds here, or whatever you want to call them, and because I think they dry out and then they split open, and then all those like little seeds will just blow in the wind. I don't want it to go everywhere, so I think this year we'll just experiment a little bit, just leave a couple pods and let that do its natural thing. And then if it starts getting too aggressive, I'll just, like next year, I'll just remove all the pods. It's just so it stays manageable. So as I'm doing this, I heard that this plant is important to monarch caterpillars, which makes sense because I did have this last year and I did see some caterpillars on it. So as you're trimming, you're supposed to check to make sure there's no caterpillars, or I guess baby caterpillars or eggs, because, whoops, it's kind of windy out today, because you don't want to disturb any of that. I guess I could have just clipped these whole things down here. I should get a bucket or something so I can put the stuff I don't want to save in the bucket. I do have some of these in other beds too. That's why I want to be cautious on how much they will spread. Just snip this guy here. I wonder if I should just leave one whole one. Maybe. Like I said, just experimenting. Yeah, and I'll just remove this guy here, and I'll leave, 6 pods there. Or I'll cut some off of I'll just cut a couple off of this one. All right, we'll just see what that does. And then I'll come back to weeding because there's lots of weeds. Okay, the next one in this bed is, I believe this is chamomile. And I know I did plant some by seed a year ago. I think it was a year ago, and not 2 years ago. But this thing is taking over. I also have one on the other side. I was just kind of letting it go to see what would happen. But as you can see, it's kind of aggressive. And I think I should thin some of it out or just leave it because there's nothing else growing in this bed but weeds. Yeah. I'll just trim some of this out. I don't know. This is a disaster. It smells so good. I mean, it's got that lemony, apple-ish, this like citrus smell to them. They smell good. I don't know why I don't know if there was an animal laying here in the middle. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. I think I'm just going to cut this guy back here and get rid of this. I feel so wrong. I feel so wrong to do that. And then, let's see. I wonder if this was Roman chamomile. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know, this still seems kind of a lot. Does anybody else have a problem when they plant stuff and then a year later there's like, what did I plant? Because, I mean, none of my garden beds make sense. I just plant stuff and hope for the best. And this year I didn't really plant anything in this front bed here because I just wanted to see what would come back. And quite frankly, mostly weeds came back. But I did have some other cool plants come back too. And as we move down here. I don't know. We'll just leave that. That seems like a disastrous cottage garden look. It's terrible. Okay, moving on. We'll come back for the weeds. So I did start these alyssum this year from seed, and I did the same thing last year, and they just seem to grow so much better when I grow them from seed versus buying them at the store. Last year I did the same thing, and they just kind of went crazy. They're just so pretty and good bed fillers. And I think I'll just keep doing that every year, grow my own. And then as you can see, more of that chamomile. And I believe this one, if I can get a good shot there, I believe, I think this might be a blanket flower or a weed. See, this is my problem. I have no idea. And I do make bad decisions when I pull stuff out. I think I might leave that and see what happens. Because I think that might be a blanket flower. Because they're popping up and some have started to bloom. And then this looks like a toothache plant, which I have some blooming as I move further down, which is a really cool plant. I'll talk about that in 1 second here. I think we got another blanket flower, more alyssum, and then there's a toothache plant. I don't know if I have one fully bloomed yet, because their buds are so cool looking. I'll see if there's one farther down. And then here we got this huge chamomile. Like, it's so big. And I think I'll remove that part back there and leave everything else up front. So here we got some cool blanket flowers. So those are, I just love these things. So I did start those from seed last year as well. And they came back. Sometimes they do get too big though. And I'm not sure, because they'll start falling down, and then I end up having to put a pole in and tape it to the pole. Because I just don't want them to break. And that's what's happening here. They're already leaning. And then out of nowhere, it looks like a sweet potato ivy or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's sweet potato. And if you can see here, it's growing all the way up here, taking over other plants. So huge problem. And I'm going to remove all of the sweet potato, ivy, vines. I think you call them vines. Yeah, I'm going to remove all that. And of course, all the weeds. And this isn't the first time I've weeded this year. Like the weeds, I don't know if it's because it's been raining so much, so the weeds are just out of control. Like it's never been this bad, and I didn't mulch this year, so that might not be helping either. Yeah. And then we have lots of weeds here. So this weed right here, they are so aggressive. And I am constantly pulling them and getting rid of them. They're in all of my beds. I didn't have this problem last year, but this year they seem to found their way into the beds. And then this one's suspicious. I think it's a weed. So I'm gonna look into that just a little bit more before I make a decision. But I definitely, because you can see there's buds on it. If it is a weed, I need to get them pulled before this. I just don't want it to get everywhere. And then it looks like right there we have another blanket flower right here. Another one of these suspicious plants. I'm not sure what it is. And then we have more blanket flowers. See, they're just so pretty. And then we have a black-eyed Susan. So as I go through all my garden beds, you'll see these black-eyed Susans in each one because I started these from seed and I had so many of them and I just planted them everywhere. But that's okay. I love black-eyed Susans. And I have two different varieties of them. Here's another one of those suspicious plants. I believe that's a gazania. It's really pretty orange flower with a yellow center. And zinnias, I think I'm getting those right. So I did plant these last year. I don't know if they're annuals. I guess if they're annuals, they can reseed themselves, so bonus. And then here is the toothache plant, if you can see that. It's like cool little yellow flowers. And then when they're fully bloomed, it has this orange center. So I think it's like a folklore. My husband did try one, so if you put it in your mouth and chew it, it makes your gums and your mouth just all tingly and numb. I have not tried it. I don't want to try it. And those are coming back pretty strong. So those are this is the third year for the toothache plants. So I can see them like little bits of it here and there. So I'll have to keep an eye on those too, and probably next year see if I need to thin those out a little bit. And then we have more blanket flowers. Okay, this one, I'm not 100% sure. I did Google it, and I used ChatGPT. It says it could be foxglove. I don't know. It's soft and a little fuzzy on top. If you know what that is, let me know. I'm gonna leave it for now and just see what happens. But I did plant foxglove on the back fence line there. Surprised if this is foxglove, why it would be at the front of the bed. And it also looks like there's been deer in the bed. If you can see that. Yep. Just snipped them right off the top. Oh, dear, what are you gonna do? Then I have this cool thing here. I can't remember what it's called, but it continues to get bigger and bigger every year. Every once in a while I'll come out and just deadhead it. I don't even know if you're supposed to, but that's what I do. I'll just come out and deadhead it. So I would call the rest of this bed a botanical crime scene. There's so many weeds. It's going to take me a minute to get through. I'm going to just pull all of it and then show you what it looks like afterwards. So some sad news. I was weeding and I moved the blanket flower just a little bit to get some weeds that were underneath it, and it snapped. And it was the one I was worried about when I was talking earlier. See, it just snapped right in half. Just right, seemed a little rotted though. I don't know. Wasn't very strong. Okay, I just want to show you this. I was showing it in yesterday's video, but I wasn't using it the right way. It's definitely not for vegetable beds. But if you've never used this before, this is pretty cool. And it's great for getting out the weeds that are hard to just pull out by hand. So it's the Fiskars. And I don't know exactly what it's called. Oh, Fiskars Deluxe Stand-Up Weeder. And I don't know, I just kind of enjoy this thing. And I'll show you how I use it. I don't use it on everything, but in 1 sec. But what I'll do is just find like the where the root probably is and just push it down and then pull it up, and it just pulls the whole thing out. Like some of these might be just pullable. Yeah. But some of those grass, like this one right here probably, you just pull it down and yank it up and it just pulls them all out. I mean, for the most part, most of this is coming out fairly easy. But I've had some doozies. So like that one. These are always hard to pull out. But see how much root comes out with that? I highly recommend to have this in your arsenal. Okay, I think this might be the perfect example of using this weed puller here. These things are thick. So if you go right down the middle of it and then yank it out, look at that. It just comes right out. It's for those, just all in one piece. No struggling, no shovel. Just pop it out. Okay, so getting really hot out, but I'm almost done weeding. And I had a thought, wouldn't it be cool to like start wrapping the sweet potato ivy up into the chicken coop? But honestly, that seems like a lot of work. Because they don't self-attach. I'd have to like work them in and stuff, but like I said, I don't even know where it came from. So I'm gonna yank them. Okay, I just thought I'd show this. I've already cut so much away. I'll show you in a second. But first of all, let me just say the aroma coming from this chamomile is outrageous. So I'm not going to leave very much left here. So there's a lot. I could be doing this all wrong, I know, but it's what I feel is best at the moment. Let's see, do I want to leave all that? And just leave this little bit here. Whew, decisions. I mean, it's just all matted down. Now look at that little pretty flower. That looks like one of those poppy flowers. I just think this thing, if there were going to be flowers growing here from last year, it's smothered it all out. So I don't know. This plant is probably not good to have in my garden right here. Need to get a shovel. Shovel that up. Honestly, I am really debating if I just want to remove the whole thing. I know I'm leaving some of this weed back by pulling it out this way. But I'm tired. I'm tired now. I'm hot and sweaty. This is not a good sight. I'm just going to pull it this way because he's getting ready to weed eat. Whew. Now it looks terrible. Should I just remove it? I should just remove it and go get some other flowers to plant in here. I need some bushes. And I thought about like going to Home Depot and Lowe's towards the end of the season and find them on clearance. Plant them and see if they come back the next year. Okay. I hope I don't make anybody mad, but I think I'm going to remove all of it. Yep, I think I'm going to remove it all. Be right back. This thing is massive. It's at least twice my size. I kind of wonder if it's one of those skyscraper sunflowers. Yeah, it's big. Chickens are going to love that when they start dying off. I got all the weeds cleaned up. And I might have left some weeds. We'll find out if they're weeds later. But yeah, I think I need to pull up this rock and reset them. And I need to go get some mulch next weekend and put some mulch down, help with the weeds. So it is hot. I should have done this earlier this morning. If you see my last video, I just don't do the heat very well anymore. As you can see, I'm a mess. And if you did watch yesterday's video, thank you for watching. It was not a little long. It was pretty long, but it was my first video. We'll see how long this one is. It's got to be at least half the time. So, yeah, I'll just continue to work through these beds, show you the rest of the beds. Some of them are more established, so they're looking a little better. And then, yeah, all the future projects. Only so much time, though. You only got so much time